Okay, looks like we're good. Um, anyway, welcome back to day 2 of what I'm hoping to be a 5-day run for my 2005 St. Louis trip. There's no one watching right now. I say that every time. But for those of you tuning in after the fact, this is a trip that I took. Cardinal to Chicago, Texas Eagle coach to St. Louis. Did some things in St. Louis. Then came back via sleepers in the Texas Eagle and then the Capital Limited. This part will cover Chicago to somewhere near St. Louis on the outbound trip. So this is going to be on the old Alton line. Currently, the Lincoln Corridor has been, since 2005, it has been significantly rebuilt. And I had the honor of taking another trip on it into 2019. So I should be able to have some comparisons available. The good news is in 2005 I was able to catch some of the surviving Alton CPLs. We'll get into those when I get there. So I hope you have a nice time. And after yesterday's thing, I think I should be able to get this in 5, but it's going to involve some longer sessions. I know yesterday's went really long, but today I've gone ahead to do a lot of preparation, so things won't drag. So anyway, let me just see who's going on in the chat now. Maybe we'll have some people here. Thing says live. Maybe I should do a quick refresh just to make sure. And let me just check what I got going on here. Oh, I got some weird stuff here. Always I forgot to set up a couple of my things here. One thing I'm definitely going to want to set up are some things for Illinois Towers. There we go. And I guess I already had some tower stuff going on. I needed something with a Wikipedia. I usually try to have a Wikipedia article somewhere. There it is. Alright, there's my Wikipedia article. And let me pull up Illinois Towers, and then we can get going. Alright. That should be enough time for people to see it. So, a lot of this, like I said, I don't know how much time I had. I think we were on time. I don't know what the heck I did. For the goddamn life of me, the Eagle tends to leave, I think, around 2. Maybe my train got a little late. Maybe I didn't have a lot of time, but I didn't take any pictures there. I knew that I was going to be picture constrained. Working with my old camera, I only had 3 64 megabyte memory cards and like a 16 as backup. I think I had 3. Maybe I only had 2. Each of those would have 96 photos, so I was looking at something on the order of 300 total photos for this trip. I actually exceeded that and was able to FTP some of the card stuff up. But it was pretty dicey. Even by 2015, Union starting off here, with from the rear of the Texas Eagle. One good thing about being coach, the one good thing about being coach, was that you don't have that initial sort of awkward wait for the dude to take your ticket as the train is leaving the terminal thing before you can go to the back of it. Usually the coach cars are on the back of the long distance trains, with the exception of the Zephyr, and for part of the and for a portion of the trip the Empire Builder. Anyway, here we are, just pulling out of Chicago Union Station. Even by 2005, they had largely replaced most of the USNS CPLs, little mini CPLs, with LEDs. Those were installed in the 1990s upgrade, but I guess Amtrak just didn't. They were into cool signaling for a while, but just didn't like it. So today, all the interlockings at Chicago Union Station have been divided up. CP Roosevelt, CP Taylor, CP Lumber, CP Lake. They're defined as CPs. And even in 2005, those CPs were in the timetable, which is this is from. But if you go, they were all controlled out of they had been controlled out of Lake Street Tower. So the interlockings weren't really branded well. It was all just sort of one giant blob because they were using a giant USNS NX machine in Lake Street Tower. So anyway, I've already stalled on the first picture. So anyway, this is the model board at Chicago Union Station. This is what is known as Jackson Street. Whenever I got this thing, it was simply known as Location 1. Now it's CP Jackson. Location 3 is CP Roosevelt. Location 2 on this chart is now CP Taylor. So we were looking at I actually just did this a few days ago with some Chicago photos. Anyway, I got to get going here. That's the 6S, 5S, 6N, 5N for Taylor and Jackson. Saying that out loud. Oops, wrong way. Yeah. So those CPLs are the only ones still there today. I think there might be a couple stuck around, but those, because they have the little extra marker for approach diverging, they sort of kept those. Anyway, sorry for that. Six S, 5S, 4S, or N, 3, 2, 1. There we go. That'll handle it. Make sure I got everything going on here. Here we have a nice picture of a Y move. Probably not sure what they would be doing, but anyway, you got your Sears Tower there. Not going to really crop this. It's well, I don't want to lose the Sears Tower, but I can definitely lose some of this trackage. Yeah, right there. I can lose most of that building. I highly recommend getting out to Roosevelt Ave. I'm not sure why I had been there in like 2003. It's not like I didn't know what it was. Here we have a nice close view. So, I have plenty of pictures from CP Roosevelt. I rarely have any out because I stopped riding coach. I especially stopped riding coach out of DC, beat Chicago. So I just don't get this picture anymore, because by the time I can get back to my vantage point, the train's usually at the drawbridge. And that's only if we get stuck at the drawbridge. So this is a surprising. I'm going to be using the newer CP names. I mean, they are in the timetable. And it helps me, divide everything up. This all used to be controlled from Jackson Street, I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, all these, well, I wonder how you count how many double slip scissors crossovers are there. You know, like, are there 2? Or are there, I guess every diamond is part of a double slip scissors crossover, so that'd be there before here. Unfortunately, all of these air switches have now since been replaced as of this year or last year. It was a very long and slow process. A lot of them that went in were the absolutely abysmal, not Alstom, the other company, GM 4000s. I did an article. There's an article in my blog about that. I'm going to need to do an article about off-brand US&S or off-brand M3 switch machines. We have 173 and a pretty good paint job. So the question is do I mark this as an interlocking? I'm probably going to mark it with the engine. So this would be on the Lumber Street. So there's location 5 is known as CP Lumber. There used to be, I think, a tower or a switch tender there or something. We are looking at probably the 2S signal from the rear. Yep. And that's 173. And then we have some Union Ave signals. Union Ave got re-signaled despite being a 1990s resignaling effort by BNSF. That was a damn shame. And I don't think I got out there in time to see it. See how quick I can get to the jumps. Again, here we have the new signals at approaching the South Branch Bridge. The South Branch Bridge was complementary to the at least according to this 1998 interlocking chart, the South Branch Bridge still had a mechanical switch machine, but I think that was changed in the 90s. You could tell because this signal there, you had the only signaling onto it was this restricting only PR high signal. That's why I think Lumber Street was switch tenders, because trains, anything going onto that were coming on at restricted speed. At some point in the 90s, that's when they, everything became signaled through here, and the South Branch Bridge had some degree of remote control, but I don't know who it was controlled from. I'm assuming 21st Street. And I said before, 24th Street, sort of blazed bright before it died, taking control of Clara Street, and I think another Amtrak remote tower. But anyway. These would be 805S and 804S. 8 being the sort of the prefix for 21st Street. No, actually, I have these as a previous thing, so I might as well just use those. There it is. God, I hate, That's 804S. 805. That's the 57 switch. I'm definitely gonna change that name. And here we have the CP lumber. And these would be the 4N and 5N. I guess somehow those are tracks 4 and 5. If you're looking, if you remember your Batman, your Christopher Nolan Batman: The Dark Knight movie, the Bat Cave is located right down that road, underneath the B&O CT bridge. Don't believe me? You can go check out the movie. And here we have the South Branch Bridge. Let's see what I called this back in the day. There it is. I'm probably going to rename that. One thing of trying to determine, do I name them in accordance with tower naming, or do I name them in accordance with new interlocking? Well, although at this point 21st Street was closed because the A5s and the general configuration is the same, I'm just going to go with naming it through 21st Street. That's another thing. Although that tower is open, they'd clearly eliminated, the signals were on the far side. Maybe they'd even done some interlocking in the 90s, had done some re-interlocking with that Model 14, which would have been really cool if they had actually managed to do that. I don't know why that Conrail 1998 interlocking chart was still showing that open, but I can do some research. For all I know, those went farther than I thought, or longer. Now I can't really crop this any. Those would be the 51 and 69 switches. I here have a great photo of 21st Street, the whole complex there. There it is. This is where I can just reuse the last name and add in the presence of 21st Street Tower. Oh yeah, I'm going faster today. Now, you can see on that last photo that we are rounding the curve. We're not going back to the PRR country. We're taking the curve onto the Alton. I call it the Alton, even it has such a twisted ownership that Alton is just the best way to describe it, especially since today it's, oh my god, it's so weird, especially how it ended up with Union Pacific. Oh, someone told me this story, but Chicago and Alton, basically the beeline between Chicago and St. Louis, got bought by the Gulf Mobile in Ohio at some point that the B&O controlled briefly, and then that's why the GMO was installing position lights, and then it was taken over. GMO merged with Illinois Central, became Illinois Central Gulf, which then just rebranded as Illinois Central. And then at some point, the Illinois Central just didn't need that line, and sold it to the Southern Pacific because Southern Pacific wanted to get into the Chicago market, and then Union Pacific bought Southern Pacific, and now Union Pacific owns it. But they don't really send a lot of trains on it because it's now a passenger corridor. Because the Union Pacific used other finagling with the MOPAC to buying some ex-New York Central traffic trackage rights and the Chicago and Eastern Indiana or Illinois or whatever to get in. They have a better route into Chicago. So that's why it's kind of actually a halfway decent passenger corridor, because it's not really needed by a freight for freight purposes. Union Pacific is happy to take the federal bucks to have the line maintained well, but it's not actually costing them any sort of operational headaches. There we go. Another neat bit apart this, you got these cool, what used to be pneumatic derails with propane, direct burner, heaters. Oh, the question is I'd love to cut off some of that, but it's like I'm going to lose some of the bridge. I'm not gonna crop it. Pretty clear window here. That's your 801 and 802 derails. And you got your little airline there too. What those used to be called? See, that's interesting. They used to be crossovers here, but now they're not. So yeah, there's definitely some no way this was like this in '98. It couldn't have been. Nah, that's an unhelpful name. We good? Okay. I gotta rotate this more. It's not quite level. It's better. We'll revisit this. I forget the name of this interlocking, and just as I forget the name of this I think it tells me. Oh, it doesn't. I gotta pull up the CN Chicago. That's the other thing. Is like, so while the IC did sell the majority of the Alton line to Union Southern Pacific, and that's they didn't sell like the one little bit between 21st Street and Joliet. It doesn't go anywhere. I've been informed that it originates a lot of traffic. So they just keep it. I mean, they keep it almost as like as a glorified industrial track. Come on. 21st. Here it is. The Freeport sub. That's CP Cermak. Let's see if I had that on here. Nice. Start at Bridgeport sub. Yeah, this is one of the, again, I think this is one of the few photos I have of this. Now, in sort of an insult to injury, I'm sure, I think that CN really doesn't appreciate having the passenger traffic running between Joliet and Chicago. There's a lot of diamonds there, and it's sort of irritating. So when they came in and did their cost cutting, when they cut that second track through here to get rid of all the diamonds, they didn't. What you would have think they would have done. I'll show you in a second. Hold on. But they intentionally caused a bottleneck, pretty much. I'm not sure what they're trying to get out of it, spite or trying to then get more funding, but it was they kind of made things pretty bad. Freeport sub. Yeah. East-west. Also, this is one of the few areas where you have a 3 dwarf stack, and they're all unilens, but it's a 3-headed. CN seems to. I've seen this in Toronto and some places. Well, they'll have 3-headed dwarfs. Very rare. I think that Western railroads with their speed signaling don't explicitly allow. They do pretty well of allowing dwarfs. Any signal can be a dwarf without modification. But anyway, here we have the late great Brighton Park, complete with semaphores. And I went out here in 2017. It's probably likely going to be something else that when I finish all these original first gen photos and I do some second gen, I'm likely going to do 2006 and 2007. Probably call it a day there. But here we have the late great Brighton Park, and it's technically not an interlocking, as it was simply a watchman controlled crossing. Here we go. If you ever look at the PR, the PR track charts on what used to be Mark Beja's site for the Panhandle route that would go up the back of Chicago and then over and into the top of Union Station, there were tons of these. They're all switched non-interlock, switch tender controlled crossings because it was just diamonds and diamonds and diamonds and diamonds, and there was just no way to do anything with it. It was expensive, and everything that any train coming into Chicago would be like, all right, it's going to take an hour to go the last 5 miles. There we go. Just going to delete these. get through these in just a second. Let me see if anybody has any questions. All right, is it good? All right. All right, moving on to set 2. There's a bunch of neat stuff in here. Not sure there's really much I can cut out of this one, except like I can cut out that like half signal there. And this is very neat because you can see the pipelines coming out of the there's no switches here, just a switch tender, and he would control these semaphores using those pipelines coming out of the thing. They were basically interlocked, as in you couldn't, there was only 2 conflicting routes. I mean, north, south, and east, west, or whatever they are. Again, one of the very, very another rare instance of manually worked signals in the U.S. The federal regulations in the 1920s required electric circuit proving of routes and signals, and you couldn't do that if the signal was was mechanically worked. As in the bulb of the power had to go through proving circuitry to power up the lamp. It's called switch signal protection. Anywho, I'm pretty sure that I knew this was coming when I went there in 2005. I wasn't like, oh my god, a semaphore. No, I think I was prepped for it. Giving you a preview of all my photos from 2007. I'm just sticking with the same names in this case. I don't want to accidentally cause a naming collision with the stuff I have in 2007. Even if the names are a little awkward. This one I'm pretty sure I just note the outhouse there and the dude's car. This is the one that would get the flagship name of just Brighton Park. I cropped it pretty heavily in the day, but as you can see, like having that guy's the car there is there's all sorts of interesting stuff that makes sense to have. I'm also like, should I exclude a lot of the trap circuits? I'm not even sure there would be. This would not be track circuited at all. Brighton Park has 10 diamonds still today. Had a lot more back in the day, including crossovers. But they are 2 for the B&OCT, 2 for what used to be a couple of Conrail running tracks, which weren't the Pensy ones. They were New York Central, and then an industrial track. Extra PR used to run through here. But after the Conrail, it didn't need to have 2 sets of tracks. Ugh. brighten that up. Here we go. I'm also going to change this one up. Back in the day, I used to mark things in terms of the direction that they were located on. So like, and then I moved to doing eastbound, the traffic direction. So the east side of an interlocking has the westbound signal. I go westbound now. Looks like I added some zoom here. And also notice the stop boards. No interlocking, just fixed stop signals. And then there was, what do you call it? In special instructions saying you stop and you take signal indication from the switch tender. It's sort of an egalitarian way to do things. You don't have to, you don't get some random dispatcher's not going to screw you. Now we're getting into Corwith. Corwith was this amazing tower, ATSF tower, or BNSF, at the crossing of, it was sort of the, today we're all used to Class 1 railroads going coast to coast, but really the only one that was coast to coast back in the day was, I don't say coast to coast, I mean coast to Chicago. The only real railroad that went coast to Chicago, Milwaukee Road, but that got abandoned. And the ATSF. I'm sure there's other ones that would eventually wind its way, but like CBQ went to Denver, Rock Island, who knows where that went, Iowa somewhere. Mopac went down to Texas. Anything with Pacific in its name never got there, except like the ATSF was like the one thing that got there on its own, and that's why all its trains were the sort of ritzy, glamorous ones. Not only because it was going to Chicago, but because it didn't have to be some sort of relay move where the CBQ hands off to the Rio Grande, that hands off to the Western Pacific, that then hands off, or the Southern that gets you in there. It would go direct. So now here we have our first view of the old school signaling with the B&O CPL there. We got some dwarfs, so we got the Rule 250, the Rule 251 operation sort of going here. And if it wasn't Rule 251, you still have to do this weird stops. So good news is I've already pulled up the Corwith. I don't need more 21st Street. Here we go. That's a terrible name. Now, I think that if I went to this guy, come on, where is that? I might have a Corwith diagram. Or at least pictures of this. A bunch of these are going to be my pictures. Here we go. I just don't have the... So, yeah, you can see how this sort of works. And... just want to give everybody a quick view here of where I'm talking about. So when you come out of 21st Street, the Bridgeport movable bridge over the Slaughterhouse Creek, Bubbly Brook, goes down a little bit more. There's your Brighton Park. Now it's an interlocking. And there's the old crossover. The interlocking is quite a bit more involved. There's a new crossover there. Amtrak had a car shop down there that may or may not still be in operation. And here we have Corwith. That whole coming across through Amtrak got off the ATSF They built a connection near Galesburg so they could bring everything in on the Aurora line via on the BNS, the BN to Aurora, so they didn't have to go through this morass of crossings. But the way the ATSF would come in and then keep going through 21st Street and eventually end up at Grand Central Station, which was on the other side of the Chicago River. Grand Central would be right in there. So their stuff would roll through the exact same way, pass over the South Branch Bridge at 21st Street, and then just sort of roll into that side. Like I say, coming in on the BN is way faster. But you have this massive BNSF Corwith yard there. It's currently for intermodal, but it was always something. Yeah, that's not Corwith Tower, you dipshit. A yard tower. Gotta make an edit there. Corwith's now been demolished. It used to be like right there. It was closed. Let's see if I have the date. November 12th, 2008. That's a shame. Anyway. Yep, it had all kinds of diamonds. And it had a surprisingly large territory, as you can see here on the outline. And if we go to the diagram, yeah, the diagram makes it look small. So there's your GM&O, and I can see them. It would be the 24. It's a pistol grip machine. Oh yeah, look at that. Like on the CPL, it has 3 separate levers operating it. The center one, the top one, and the other one would all give you different routes. Pretty crazy. The GRS machines were very lever inefficient. So I don't think I'm going to put lever numbers on this. Didn't really have anything I need to research there, but I thought I'd give all you guys some home. The one thing that Corwith was interesting is it did not suffer from tower window syndrome. Tower window syndrome is where what used to be grand double hung windows or drop sash windows with muntins and individual panes of glass just get worse and worse and worse over the years, usually getting replaced with the cheapest bottom barrel Home Depot type of little shitball window. Corwith had some really nice sealed window things there that made it look very professional. That's why I was sort of surprised when it got demolished, especially being brick. So I wasn't surprised that Corwith was closed. I was very surprised that Corwith was demolished. Maybe people were breaking into it. Who knows? But it was very well kept, and with the complexity of the interlocking there, it would have been easy for the CNS guys to sort of say like, "Hey, we want our own office," but that was not the case. That should be the flagship tower name. Come on. Is that the next one? No, I do have Corwith. If you stay for the whole set of like 5 streams, I will be I do take the Texas Eagle back through all this jazz, so we will be seeing a lot of these again. Making sure this is all lined up in the right way. Yeah, it is very interesting the B&O CPL sort of made it out this far. Oops. I gotta say which signals I'm talking about here. This is the eastbound GMO signals. Again, I'm being very, very frugal with the photos I'm using because I knew that I wasn't going to have a ton. So we went from Corwith all the way skipping ahead to the Beltway Railway of Chicago crossing. This used to be the former location of Belt Tower. It is located... Okay, so there we are in Corwith in the BNSF yard. It's actually not that far. There's the BRC crossing. Beltway of Chicago is kind of the inner belt. There's like 3 belt railroads around Chicago. IHB, Indiana Harbor Belt, Beltway of Chicago, and the EJE. What now owned by CN. That gets CN down around. Let me see what it's called in the timetable, though. I got to go down to Joliet. Next. I guess it's page 8. 6, 8. Lemoyne. What? Belt Crossing. I'm just calling it Belt Crossing. Give it a simple name. Oh, okay. There's a big time skip there, and I want to apologize. So normally I actually had a whole bunch of photos of UD Tower in here. It went from Belt Crossing to a bunch of stuff at UD Tower. Let me see if I can find them. I mean, they're all in here, but they're mixed in with pictures that are like internal photos that aren't mine. I put this together for a blog post on UD Tower. So I had a full ride through on UD from eastbound and westbound, and I reprocessed these photos in 2011 to modern standards. So like, the double slip, the signal bridge, the tower, I put them all together into a cohesive, like, inside outside thing here. I'll put them all together, in the photo set, but I don't need to reprocess them. They're fine. I'm sure that there are some things I could do better, but I don't need to. They're at the appropriate resolution. I'd be nitpicking at that point. So I'm skipping all the UD Tower stuff. That means we cut south of Joliet. Now, time to pull up another subdivision. Springfield sub, Joliet sub. Joliet sub is now we're on Union Pacific. That runs from Joliet down to Bloomington. A distance of about 100 miles or so, a little less than about 90. It has been completely rebuilt today. Back in the day, it was absolutely terrible. Over this period, you had a length of between milepost 37.9 in South Joliet to milepost 70. You did not have a facility to cross over. There was an interlocking for like a industrial branch, but there were no sidings. Sorry, when I say crossover, I mean there's no place to pass. That's astonishing. Probably led to a whole bunch of delays. Now, like I said, it's been completely rebuilt. Oh, gotta find that. So there's the BRC crossover, and I just sort of skipped all the way ahead to a Jillian. Oh yeah, that was something. I'll use this interlude to bitch about something else. In 2000, so Amtrak long distance pre-COVID was significantly more popular than it used to be. Back between 2000 and 2005, around when I was riding, I rode a little bit of long distance. The trains were really empty. This train specifically, I was in coach, and the car I was in was practically empty. But the crew was still doing it sheepdog. Instead of just saying find a seat, they would herd you around, and if I was even in the back, just like I just wanted to sit at the back window or switch between back and forth of different sides of the car to get pictures. They would bitch you out, and it was just it's like really. And there was someone who was specifically nasty on this train. And I don't think I was prohibited from taking pictures, but they were not making it easy. Now come on here. I need these pictures. There they go. So I need to find where this bridge is. Here it is. It's the Kankakee River Bridge. And look, I'm pretty sure it's Kankakee River Bridge. Yeah, look how times have changed. There's the power pylon, but they are currently totally rebuilding this bridge for a second track. Now there's a brand new intermodal facility that went in there. I can show you on the picture. So coming south out of Joliet, there's your Kankakee River Bridge, and UP built this brand new whatchamacallit, is that the one? Yeah, this BNSF, sorry, it's not UP, but it's a BNSF. Just look at how big that is. Whoa, the cross docks, intermodal ramps, and it serves, and they have a hook in on the UP side. And I think that UP has its own intermodal facility up there. Yeah, there it is. The Union Pacific has one. It's called Global 4. Yeah, so there's Union Pacific's facility. There's BNSF's facility. And that's all brand new. That was not there in 2005. So anyway, just an FYI. Now all of this stuff as we get on this is likely one of my first. I've done a little bit. I did a little bit on coming into Chicago and some other places, but this is my first real I'm gonna stand at the back of this Amtrak train and take pictures all the time. You're gonna see another photo that was in the beginning of this year. Where I rode the Three Rivers and I did a little bit, but this and that Three Rivers trips are when I really started doing all those line surveys. So, and I didn't know how to get all the milepost numbers and stuff. Is this north-south? Yes, it is north-south. So I have all the mileposts. I have everything. So one limiting factor of why I don't stream all my photos is because today you guys would be absolutely bored sick. Because it's just sort of me trying to, a lot of it's like, what milepost is it? Well, let's use a distance counter on Google Maps, and it's a lot. Or here are 700 photos of a signal from the front, sides, back, rear, upper, lower. So that's not very exciting. But back in the day where I took a lot fewer photos, the photos are generally more interesting. Here cutting ahead. I'm assuming that because all the signals are probably crap on the line. We're cutting ahead to Bloomington Yard. We have a Union Pacific 1354. Don't know which one that is. Clearly some sort of Jeep. Let's see. I do have photos of Bloomington Yard that I took back in March of 2019. Dwight. If it will load. Come on. Yeah, same kind of things. I wonder if that windsock is still there. Yep, there it is. Wow, look at that. The windsock is still there. Probably a different windsock. That one looks pretty tattered. And it looks like they've added... the yard looks like it's been cleaned up a little bit, too. But that has to be the same 2 yard tracks. So let's see who UP 1354 is. Huh, maybe it's a UPY. GP40-2. That's it. Yeah, it's even in Springfield in 2009. So that's clearly the right engine there. A little soft photo, but 1354. Oh, hey, look at that. An SP painted engine. Number 7619. Wow. It is a GP4, another GP40-2. It looks like there's an old Guilford unit over there. I have no idea who that is. That's going to be a private switcher for the grain silo. $76.19. All right, cool. Goodness, here we go. Bloomington Yard northbound, and then add in who's ever there. Yeah, it looks pretty, similar to the way it was. We have Southern Pacific 7619 plus the same Union Pacific 1354 plus whoever that Jeep is, but I don't know. And, starting to get some stuff. Oh yeah, notice the Southern Pacific Heritage type of signal there with the V target or the Trilite type target. That was a big Southern Pacific thing. So here we have the Southern Pacific Heritage part of the line showing, and a Southern Pacific style relay hut as well. But change is in the air with the Darth Vader head. Some sort of new low profile M3 switch. So stuff's happening. Let's see what that looks like in I wonder if I don't even think Bloomington Yard interlocking is there. Oh no, it's that one. So yeah, Bloomington Yard's at the north, I think. So let's go to the Springfield sub. Oh wait, no, that says Bloomington Yard. X126. Oh, there it is. Did I get something wrong? Hope I. No, they've moved it. It's like the old Bloomington Yard. Huh, there you go. Yeah, not sure what to do to avoid a collision when the railroad moves the interlocking from one side of the yard to the other side of the yard. Ah, see, but this is gonna be Springfield. It's clearly Springfield sub. So I'll just label this as Springfield sub. That'll solve the problem. All right. Second set. Second set? Oh man, this is taking a long time again. Second set, I think, is done. Yep. Even with my attempts to go faster here. Yeah, anyone in the chat, feel free to throw out questions, and I will answer them as best I can. So we're getting into CPL country here. Starting out at milepost 133.6. It's odd that these, like, the most rote work that I do with the surveys are often the most time intensive. Anyway, 133.6. Well, there we go. This is what that scene was in 14 years later. So that single, with all there's a lot of reconstruction going on the line. So ties, concrete versus wooden. Signals, split CPLs versus a little freaking diminutive midget mast. These guys are still the same. Crossing is there. I think they now. It looks like they had four quadrant gates. They were starting to get ready for this high speed train thing. So anyway. Springfield 1.3 assist NB mast. I don't see the hotbox detector. I think that's in the foreground. I don't think that's they added a whole bunch of defect detectors, and that's not in this picture. So, shoop. Okay, there we go. I just don't like using that clarify filter. I'm just going to try the contrast enhance. So one thing that I learned that so normally if I have a single mast or like a double angle mast, I'll just say like northbound mast. If I have these splits and one of them's facing away, I say masts northbound. It's like attorneys general. Oops, and I should have put that they were CPL. Ding. Okay. One done. These are the ones at 137.0. Let's see if that one held up. Yep, there it goes. The odd irony is I got a better picture in 2005 than I got in 2019. Another thing that they started putting in these little one-shot defect dragging equipment detectors, the little bars across the tracks. If they get dislodged, they'll break the track circuit. I really want to investigate one of those up close to sort of see how they work. Note these old signals do use a pole line. That was another before PTC. The major thing getting people to the major thing driving resignaling besides a lack of CTC was pole lines. Pole lines are the worst thing to maintain. And they're so unreliable. Storm comes through, you're going to have so much pole line damage. $137.0. And I'm not sticking with the old original names. I did not know what I was doing at this point. I say that a lot, I know. Let's see if I can try to identify who that is. It is... Oh, it's going to be a siding on the thing. So I know which siding it is. Bloomington. The McLean siding, North End McLean, which should exist today. How things have changed. Yeah, I think all the I don't know what the speed on all the switches were. They were pretty bad. Yeah, and this has been not only re-signaled but also re-signaled again when they put the higher speed signals. You can see these are little midget masts. Yeah, see there. There's the midget mast, there's the thing with it, and trying to get this, probably increasing the switch speeds to 50 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour. They extended the interlocking limits and fuddled with the switch. Note there's your active pole line. Maybe we don't need that much pole line. Yeah, I'm at the limits of my resolution here. With them McLean. Yeah, past a train. Clearly a Lincoln service. Oh, you can see the conductor at the back there. I wonder if I identified which train this was. Oh, it's the Anne Rutledge, back when they had names. So, what am I going to do with this? I need a milepost. I'm right down from North End McLean, so let me just find. I'll just add a mile to whatever North End McLean is. Probably 139. I can look at the countdown things. That is 1/2. So 139.5. That's one neat, useful thing on Union Pacific. They put quarter mile mileposts. Springfield sub 139.5. Amtrak and Rutledge. No, I don't usually do that. I say it's at the Mick. Next, this should be South End McLean. There's the things that I mentioned, the grain silos. Not that grain silos are uncommon in the Midwest, but I think we might have been slowed down a bit. One of these times, my Texas Eagle got pulled into a siding. It was pretty bad. Took a while. For all I know, they actually shortened this one. Huh. That's interesting. It's like the one time they actually shortened they shortened the siding. Not sure why they would have done that. Yeah, it's sort of puzzling. Like in this whole, hey, let's expand. Well, maybe it isn't the right. Maybe it isn't the same place. No, no. Oh, it is. Yeah, that building. It just looks different. Yeah, there you go. Because it's winter. And I'm probably using a different zoom or something. So some things stay the same. Oops, damn it. And yeah, there's the whole new McLean that we see today in 2019. Oops. Yeah, this is where the photo comparison really helps. Maybe one little more. Here we go. But as you can see, let's see. Yeah, they've doubly rebuilt this. They re-signal it, then they did it again. The signal's been moved because now the signal it can display. I think that's probably 60 mile an hour turnout or 50. So that can do approach. That can do like a, multiple indications there. That just shows you. Apparently, I forget how much Illinois spent on the upgrades on this. It's a couple billion. Unfortunately, they're still not running the high-speed service. There's not much stopping them. I don't know what's going on. Here we have. I'm gonna capture that pole line feed there. Now I did mark down which ones these were. Hold on. I hope this wasn't one I just threw away. I feel like here it is, 143. Yeah, yeah, the one that I had of that is kind of crummy. Didn't keep the feed over, did a bunch of stuff on it. So, it's a soft photo with limited resolution. I'm not going to try to over sharpen it. The useful part here is we have what did I say, 143? There it is. 143.4. C northbound CPL masts. Northbound soft plus feed soft. There we go. Let me just do a quick. It's just interesting from my point of view to see the differences. Yep, looks like the pole line has not only been, no, I see the poles still there. I mean, I'm not sure. Sometimes the poles, they go through and they chainsaw them down. Sometimes they just don't care. So this one should be the next in line, and that would be McLean, Atlanta. No, Athol. So this is 153. So this would be the switch at Athol. Or I have a picture going the other way, so I'm going to do a wider shot of this. Get more of that grain elevator. So it looks like that's an automatic now. But this is clearly a Oh, hold on. So I got a little issue because I have a break, and this is where I had to change the memory card, so the pictures sort of go to a different thing. Nah, it's not Athol. That I guess the CPLs are probably just split. Yes, but no, it's clearly an absolute signal. 143, 145, 148. Yeah, I don't know. That's appears to be an absolute. Yeah, it's 145.8. It's something marked as Atlanta, so I guess it's sort of a holdout signal. Always a new mystery. I'll figure it out. 145.8. Plus the Vine Street Xing plus the silos. Alright, so that's a short bit because I needed to reset. So that's why I had to change a memory card. And then after this, we'll have one more set, and that should be it for tonight. See how fast we can get through this. Where's everybody? Oh yeah, I mean, pole lines are a target for everything. They're a target for wind. They're a target for trees. They're a target for theft. They're just a target. Yeah, CPLs are generally going away except on the Staten Island Railroad. And on a couple short lines like the Baltimore, the Buffalo and Pittsburgh. They're gonna be very niche, unfortunately. They're excellent. They're an excellent system. So anyway, this is 148. I did pull this one up earlier. 148.2. Don't have a good picture of this. Both times these signals surprised me. I was unable to get good photos of them. In this case, I'm not going to zoom in that much just because I don't have the resolution. Yeah, it's already. I'm already losing out. Kiduk. Now we're at Athol. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of crossing equipment being discarded there. I wonder if that's a GM40. Yeah, that's an Alstom GM 4000. Is it Alstom? It's someone. They apparently, from my conversations with people, the weakness is there that they have issues with water ingress. Alright, I have to cut off those. Oh, maybe not. I don't want to cut off the silos. So they've already done the work to upgrade the switch from whatever the heck it was. Probably, I can go here and just find out the speed restrictions through sidings and turnout. Elkhart, Girard, Shipman. I think that there was a default speed on turnouts on the G-Core sort of speed signaling stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's probably some blanket like 30 mile an hour default. Yep, there's that. Here we go. Yep, same place. So I'm not sure what they used for dwarfs. They had to have used CPL dwarfs, but those, even by now, those have been removed. And notice something else to notice. Yeah, like there's no lower orbital on most of these facing CPLs, which further indicates that this was all just slow speed turnouts. Or restricted turnouts. These sidings might have all been restricted speed turnouts. That would explain why the timetable doesn't have speeds for them, because they're all restricted speed turnouts. That's why this line was absolutely terrible. I mean, it was quick. It was it was and is 80 mile an hour. But it was not fun. So here we have your northbound Mast Dwarf plus New Darths. Yeah, I mean, so your distant signals don't have any capacity for an approach diverging because they're all restricted speed. You're going to get you're going to pull in, you get an approach. Oh, hey, there we go. Look at that. Wow, there's like the only one I found. The CPL exit signal. CPL dwarf exit signal. Now this is where I do think there was some stuff, because they did extend this one all the way down to the Athol crossing. Or no, it was always extended that far. Yeah, it's the same place. So the first one I have is North End Athol. Okay. As much as I want to capture more, I really want to try to get as much detail in that CPL dwarf as I can. There we go. Might crop a little more off. That got it. Trying to get this done as quick as I can. Yeah, so as I was just mentioning before, man, look at the overgrowth there. Yeah, there's no lower head for a medium clear or diverging clear, because all these sidings are restricted speed. So let's do another. It's taken time, but I love these sort of 15-year apart comparisons. So one of the things that they did with this corridor is they really tried to pedestrian, make it friendly to the locals, keep the kids out. They put up a lot of fencing and brush clearance. I don't think I'm gonna have a better shot of that. Nah, it's all the way back there. But let's see. Where is that? There it is. Yeah, they also rebuilt this one twice. But they did a lot of brush clearance, you can tell. Moving on, we are at... It is interesting that they didn't change the signaling locations at all between, when they were doing this whole project. They're generally in the same spot. See, this is milepost 157. I'm betting that signal's still there. Milepost 1. Or I missed it. 160. 181, 157 point. See, I think I missed that one. Good thing is that it is 157.2, which is oddly enough this exact bridge. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna cut and paste that because it's helpful. I want to do a little rotate on this. There we go. So again, I don't think that mast is even a thing anymore. 0.2. Yeah, they had to do some signal movement around where they were doing extended double tracking. So here we have an SP, a Southern Pacific vintage signal, a B&O vintage signal, and a UP vintage signal, which turned. So we got all three. This is the history of the Chicago and Alton in one photo. Right here. I don't have an Alton. I don't even know what they would have used. So this is going to be milepost something else. For 157. There we go. This looks like this is the 160. But is it that one? Nah, it's clearly different. I don't have the mile. I don't have the... I can't see what that is there. Oh, but I have it going the other way. Oh, I just can't read it. But I can go to the other photos. It's going to be probably in stream set 4. No, it's... Stream set 3. Man, where is this? We didn't lose it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Can I see it? Can I see it? 1611. Got it. 1611. Yeah, it isn't the same location as the other one. 161.1. Ugh. That's 163. 163 what? I don't know. Oh, I'm feeling at this point everything is going to be yeah, this is where we're going to do a double track segment. That's a 166. Well, I notice this is going to be 163, so I can't tell which one this is. Huh, maybe I should do a vertical one. Yeah, that's reasonable. Wow, I actually got it. It's gonna be like 100% resize. I drew that out the exact thing it's gonna be. So I can just sharpen it and call it a day. So I have this as 163. Don't know which one it is. Point X, CPL, masts, northbound. I do have this on the other side. Damn it. Wait. No. Don't need that anymore. So this is not interlocking despite the switch. It is a hand throw siding. And this is 166.1. Ugh. 166.8, 160 some. Nope, it's nothing there today. The closest you have is that one in the double track zone. Oh, it's right there. 160. Oh, there's a typo. Yeah, that should be 166.1. I put 169. Oh, well, can't really fix that. So today, this is all double tracked. Like, not just the siding. Like this thing is legitimately like double tracked. What the heck? Ah, shit. There it goes. This is not great. I'm losing a lot of resolution there. I guess that's all I need. Sharpen. 166.1. Plus the northing of the Elkhart grain siding. This is our next interlocking, which is proud to be the Elkhart siding. Yeah, this siding is not even like there anymore because of the double tracking project. So this is things that aren't there anymore, like big time. North end. .416. Trying to get this moving. Get this finished up here. And again, this is the same north end of the Elkhart siding. Whenever I'm doing these surveys things, that's one thing. Union Pacific or a lot of Western things will label a siding on the timetable with a single name and two interlocking numbers. And like, how do you account for that? You know, if you're trying to label these things and make them, avoid, data, collisions. I learned this from sort of CSX nomenclature. Sidings have north end, east end, west end, whatever. So if you're on Union Pacific and it's just labeled as Elkhart, one of them is north end Elkhart, other one would be south end Elkhart, and you can abbreviate that NE or SE. That's what CSX does, and I've adopted the same thing. Conrail wanted to be the odd man out. What you'll see them is they would do a thing with an interlocking and then one of them with a directional. So it'd be like Pilot and West Pilot, or something and North something. So I was on the ball at getting a lot of these a lot of these CPLs here. I'm going to do a square. This is sort of hard one to level. You know, I got, that's pretty level. And that's level. I'll just keep it like this. You know, got one good photo there. Oh. Oh, South End Elkhart. I missed the, it looks like there's a CPL dwarf there, and I didn't quite get it, so. Oh well, maybe I got on the way back. South End Elkhart, North Bell, CPL Mass, plus New North. Got it. Well, we are almost done. Double check that's the right one. It is. Delete. Down to the last batch here. One more bonus batch. Having to really work overtime to try to get these all in. Oh, we're going to hit Ridgley. All right. Well, that's going to be a treat for you guys. $172. At some point, I'm assuming that these signals will start syncing up again with the ones that are still there. It's very odd that in 2005 they went to an amount of effort to resignal stuff that was just going to get thrown in the bin less than 10 years later. Let's see what this is. 172. There it is. 172.4. That looks like it's the one. Yep. Oh, that road is new. And those trees have really grown up. Wow. How things change. Look at that. It's like they had poles there, but no road, and they put the road in. Huh. Probably serving those, yeah, there's like fields, and then suddenly there's equipment and buildings. Well, there's economic growth for you. Oops, 174. So it looks like I am synced back up with what's there today, at least in terms of signal locations. Whoops. These are 175.8. I bet I'm going to find one. There it is. Yep, same one. Looks like they had to add a little bit extra for the PTC mast, though. And added some more signs in there, too. .8. Not sure what this is. I think that there was some sort of oh yeah, they're doing a bridge replacement, so they had to build a shoe fly track. I think I know where this is. Cross a thing. Yeah, we have this. It's somewhere at the North Ridgley thing, but I don't know exactly where. Could it be that? Huh. Would explain the wide. All right, let me look on the map here. We can look on Meredith Drive. What did they do there at some point? This is coming into Springfield, by the way. Right near the Ridgley siding. Oh, that's St. Louis. Went too far. There it is, Springfield. There's Ridgley, Sherman, Illinois, Meredith Drive. I wonder if they put in, if that's where that shoe fly. Yep, look, there it is. You can see the, I think you can see the root of the temporary track they built there. So, cool. Solved that mystery. Let's see if I can find that 175. Yeah, that's got to be it. And it looks like they were trying to put in some sort of housing development. Yeah, that's a brand new road that was cutting through. There's your curve, and then they put a shoe fly in before they built the road, and they built the bridge. That's pretty. I guess that's a smart way of doing it. Pretty cool. Like moments in time. I don't know how to spell it though. Some additional signals, which would be at these guys. It's got to be 179.2. Yeah. Should I do that? Vertical this? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Would have been loved to have been out here, I had no way to get out here at this point. But I've never seen anyone who really did a good documentation of one of these GMO CPL locations. I'm sure someone had to have at some point. Oh, this is neat. So here we're approaching, this is the north end of the Ridgley siding. Ridgley was the last tower, what was it? Yes, it was the last tower with a mechanically worked set of points in North America. It was after Z Tower and Keyser was taken out. Ridgley was the last one with a single switch. There were manual lever frames like Delray, which just closed, but all of them had long since electrified their points. This was the last one in the U.S., and it closed in 2010. So I'm pretty sure this is the north end of the Ridgley siding. Yeah. And just because, and you notice you do on the signal, you do have the approach medium approach diverging in this case, signal indication for for something, whatever it happens at Ridgley. All right. North end. Oh, I should be able to actually read it what it was. Is this Ridgley? Yeah, North Ridgley. Uh, Ridgley was one of those situations. I'm sure the tower survived because Union Pacific knew that it could probably get the state to pay for replacement. And they did. Oh, this was the really cool part at Ridgley. They had this very unique cantilever, which was actually built from bent rail. Those are railroad rail segments that had been bent, and provided the structure. Again, this was unceremoniously cut down and scrapped. Again, this I guess was a signaled siding. So you have or whatever's going on here at Springfield. You know, you actually get some orbitals this time. I'm wondering if I went to whatever the map thing I was looking at. I went down to Ridgley. It used to be there. There's your postal facility, I think. And it would have been somewhere. I guess that it would have been there. What am I seeing in this? Yeah, I don't have any. I was going to see if I could do a street view. History. But I don't think Street View is going to cover that shopping district. Oh, maybe it will. Let's see. Come on. Sorry, I'm taking up the time here. Nah, it's already toast, so. So this should be in Ridgley, and I don't have this tower, so I'm going to go over to R. There we go. Got a decent number of photos of Ridgley. Here we go. Ugh. There we go. I want to use the old names. No reason not to. Ugh. So what does this look like today? Let's just do a quick look at what we're looking at today. Yeah, the yard is still kind of there and desolate. The cantilever is new and crappy looking. Got some hand throw switches, which didn't exist. Yeah, that's fine right there. Now, there it goes. Perfect. Southbound CPL mast yard. Yeah, that one needed some extra. So here we are getting into the pipelines. So there's the one switch. I have a better picture of it going north. That's the one switch, the last mechanically worked switch in the U.S. In 2010. And as you know, each switch, there was another switch up there. I forget exactly where it was or what it did. It's on the diagram. If you go to, I guess we go to the tower thing. Ridgley, Springfield, yeah, there was a some sort of crossover in there. Oops, wrong one. So this 22, I think, was the one that was left, and that 20 switch was removed by the time I was there. So there's your cantilever with 30-25. That one, that 22 with the facing point lock, 21 was there. This 20 with the 19 lock, or the whatever that is, that was removed. And as you can see here in the photo, in the pipe run, yeah, there's the 22 one, and this went there for the crossover that's now gone. If you can see where my little thing is, you can see just that seems to be where that pipe run ends. What's odd that there isn't even like this sort of like no one has even replicated this in a museum. Mechanically worked like switch points. I mean, in the UK they're there, but they are not. They are not. No one has done this. Like no one has done like a Harris Tower for a mechanical thing. Huh. That's clearly a. There it goes. And the best part is I got the operator there in Ridgley giving me the old wave. This is definitely the type of tower that you could have probably rolled up to and gotten a little visit. Also, I think that's a Ford Ranger or something else they don't make anymore. Yeah, I know they're bringing it back, but they're not really bringing it back. Why, come on. What's wrong with offer a compact pickup? Yeah, this is actually I got this submitted into railroadpictures.net way back in the day. They took this one. Yeah, I think I can do a better job with making that straighter. Ridgley has a little bit of that lean-in tower PD syndrome. And again, a lot of the issue with preserving this was simply that it was full of asbestos. Now, maybe it's because the shingles were, and that's always kind of an iffy. Is that really asbestos or not? It's not, but. Oops, I want to sharpen more. I want to sharpen regular. I should sharpen more. Nah, it looks over sharpened then. That's just the flagship photo for Ridgley. With your operator there waving. Two left. Almost done. Thanks for waving. At least you guys are getting a nice little reward for waiting around. It's gonna find this one. Yeah, we hear just, that switch there is outside of Ridgley's control. That searchlight, and there's another one over there, it just protects that one diamond. You can see everything else according to that diagram is gone. The connector is gone. The crossover is gone. Everything here. I'm sure someone stole this model board, by the way. There we go. Yeah, for the newer photos, I definitely don't feel zero need to use the original. You try to use the tower name on this interlocking. The tower has been demolished. Sorry. I'm assuming I have a whole bunch of questions lined up. I really want to try to get this finished, so I'll answer them in just a second. Nice signal. The northbound signals at Ridgley. Note the little finial on the CPL there. So this is going to wrap it up for set stream 2. You can tune in tomorrow for stream 3. I think that's I forget what else that's going to cover. If there's more Springfield stuff, there might be. I think south of Springfield, all the signals had been kind of replaced already, but we will see. I mean, at least over the years. Ugh. There we go. That looks good. I might keep some of those photos for refs, so I'll just deal with this in later. We'll see. Okay. Anyway, let's see what I got. Let's see who's still left or awake in the old chat. Whoops, that's Scott Manley. Oh, okay. Sorry here. Well, I mean, I could be monitoring the. You're right. I could. I don't have a second screen set up where I am. I do have that actually on my other machine, but this is again something I do at my parents' house for passing the time. Let me see. Did I miss any questions? Oh man, it got hopping. Did it fix? Yeah, how long was it off for? In theory, the one tower museum that kind of had mechanical switches was East Stroudsburg. The tower's there; it's preserved, and the way it was still hooked up to some like there was there was trackage in front of the tower, like industrial sidings, and at some point you could like still move a switch and display a restricting signal. Because it was like the track's been cut, but they were still there. But they're completely gone now. All right, sorry about that. Yeah. I usually check back more, but like I said, I was just trying to get this going through. I forget what makes it go black. I apologize. Nope. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. Let me just see what's going to be on tomorrow. Be aware that I will be going back through Ridgley again and Corwith. Not UD because I said I cut that out. Tomorrow's going to be all St. Louis stuff, St. Louis Union, the station there, some koi ponds. Yeah, tomorrow's a lot of St. Louis stuff. So for people who really love their Alton, it's going to be less of that. But I do have photos of Lennox Tower tomorrow. All right, thank you so much. I will check it back in and make sure the blank screen thing. Yeah, this desk does not even have room for a definite monitor, but I can, if someone pinged me on the thing. Yep. Yeah, thanks, Brian. You did the right thing. Hit me up on Telegram if that. I'll just have my phone. I had someone else that was sort of bugging me. Anyway, I should get notifications for that too. All right. I think that's it. Later. Thanks. Blah blah blah. Where's the damn